Greetings from YouTube. Once again, Danny Savage, Draft Guru. We have a little bit of technical difficulties this morning. Computers ain't my specialty. Breaking shit is. Day one of the combine. Defensive linemen, linebackers. Win if you can. Survive if I let you. I live for this shit. The draft. College football. I'm going to break down 3 pages of names. That's it. No other notes. No other colleges like next to them. Nothing. Because you see, I watch football Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. When others on Saturday, still the best being on YouTube, while others on Saturdays are going shopping to pick out what color do-rag they're going to wear, I'm watching college football. Like I said, you want to fuck with people? Excuse my language. Ask them who are their favorite positions for 2026. Not for the end of the month, for 2026. So now, here. This is what I'm going to show you. We got, let's see. One page of names, 2 pages of names, 3 pages of names. You've got a 4th. Five pages of just names, no colleges where they're going to, no positions, no nothing. It's all up here. Listen, bro, there's a lot of people, looks like they're not going to be working out at the combine this weekend. Abdul Carter, they found a stress fracture in his foot. They don't know if they should operate on it, or they don't know if it's going to heal. That's a hell of a fucking, excuse my language, that's a hell of a thing to find out now. Mike Green, edge, out of Marshall. Let's just say in a nice way, he's tumbling because of accusations. How can I phrase this? Let's say some Diddy accusations from high school. So he's tumbling faster than the Titanic. So Shedeur Sanders ain't working out. I said it from the get-go, his dad and him are going to decide what NFL team they want to go to. They're playing a tricky game because they're millionaires and they're messing around with billionaires. Remember that. Uh, just names, no notes, no colleges, no nothing. Mikel Williams, 6'6", 250, freak out of Georgia. As of right now, he's my number one edge. He plays defensive tackle. He plays defensive end. He plays whatever he wants to. James Pierce, Tennessee, 6'5", two change. A freak. A lot of people are going to be down on him because they say Tennessee rotates their defensive linemen a lot, but Georgia doesn't. So that's just people nitpicking. And like I said, this is all off the top of my head. There's no colleges, there's no nothing next to everyone's name because no one watches more football than me. Nobody. Got a lot of snake oil salesmen. Mike Green, Marshall, 6'4", 250. He showed up at the Senior Bowl, went off. Like I said, he put on some good weight. I don't care what you weigh at the combine. Excuse me. I don't care what you weigh at the Senior Bowl. I don't care what you weigh at the combine. I care what you weigh at week 17. Like I said, Mike Green has some allegations against him. Just allegations. Him and Diddy hanging out, and he's tumbling. He's falling. Antoine Powell Ryland, edge / linebacker, Virginia Tech. He only had 16 sacks. He's a classic tweener. And no one's talking about him. Ironic I am. Jalen Walker, Georgia. Some people are going to look at him as an edge. My opinion, he's a linebacker because he just doesn't have. Listen, if you want to put him as a third down pass rusher, I do not have a problem. He's not a full-time edge. Plain and simple. He's in my linebacker group. Nate Dogg, boom, thank you. Next is Landon Jackson, defensive end / defensive tackle, Arkansas, 6'7", 290. If there ever, also, if you like the video, sub and subscribe, but don't cost a dime. If there ever was a prototypical 5-tech, this is him. He has that, I don't know, man. What's that thing that Will Smith's wife had where I don't even think she had it, man, to be honest with you, man. It's that thing where you don't grow hair everywhere. So he looks a little, I'm going to say, odd. But, that's like the worst you could say about this kid, man. And I don't want to say like he looks like a freak or nothing like that because he doesn't. He just looks a little odd, and we all look a little odd. It's okay to look a little different. It's okay. God made everyone perfect in his eyes. So just because the kid has like a condition, douchebags make fun of him. They made fun of this kid, Landon Jackson, Arkansas. They made fun of him at his when he was a senior in high school, when he was at some camp slapping the bags. Who's laughing now, man? Who's laughing now? These kids are going to get paid. Like I said, just names. No colleges, no nothing. 5 pages worth, right off the top of the head. Deone Walker, 6'7", 360, Kentucky. He had 5 sacks in 2024 with a load of tackles. In my opinion, he was playing not to get hurt. I believe he had better 2023 tape. He had 8 sacks at 6'7", 360. Listen, I don't care what he weighs in today. He's going to diet down, cut his water, just so he can show up. You can manipulate your body weight 20 pounds either way. It's not that hard, bro, if you know what you're doing. So he's going to be come in light. I really don't care. I want him to weigh 360. He played at 360. So Deone Walker out of Kentucky, bro, he, I think, is round 2, round 3, unless he blows up today. Walter Nolan, Old Miss, classic 3-tech. He's violent with his hands, gets up the field. Watch out for him. Like I said, man, I just got names, 5 pages worth. I'm just going off the top of my head because I could do that. And you could do that when you watch football and not 2 games on people. Nazir Stackhouse, defensive tackle for Georgia. Bro, just a big monster in the middle. He's going to stop the run. Nothing, how can I phrase this? Nothing glamorous. He's not going to get you a double sacks. He's not going to get you that. You just want him to just be a run stuffer in the middle, keep your linebackers clean. Jay Toya, UCLA. Every single person I'm giving you, I gave you already. How ironic is that? Jay Toya, UCLA. He's a USC transfer. Just a big island guy in the middle that's going to just shut down. He's a space eater. He's gonna, there's a phrase, big can of dirt. That's not a derogatory term. That's just somebody that is gonna stop the run and let your linebackers run clear to the ball. Ty Robinson, he's flying up the board, 6'6", 310. I gave you him in May, man, Nebraska. He's flying up the boards. Also, Yahir Black, defensive tackle, Iowa, same thing. He has prototypical size. He had a good Senior Bowl, hard to move, and he's flying up the boards. We got David Walker, Central Arkansas. Don't you love it, man? Just names, bro. David Walker, Central Arkansas, 6'2", 260, 31 sacks. He's going to have to prove, in my opinion, he's a perfect 3-4 outside linebacker. And he's going to have to prove if, he can play with his hand down in the dirt, not wear down, or Cowboys corner, boom. I'm dropping 5 pages of notes of just names and everything off the top of the head. You can do that when you watch football. Thank you for jumping in the chat, man. I was having technical difficulties this morning. Next kid, Jaheed Campbell, Alabama. This is a mixture of linebackers and defensive linemen. He's 6'4", 250. He's from New Jersey, actually. He does what he wants, where he wants. He can line up anywhere. He is my linebacker 3 because I have, 5 pages. I got 5 pages of just names, no notes, no nothing. Jihad Campbell, he can line up at at least 5 different positions. He is my linebacker. I'm going to put him to Abdul Carter is my linebacker 1. He's a linebacker to me. I'm going to put Jihad Campbell 2 right now, and Jalen Walker is probably 3. Jalen Walker and Abdul Carter are not edges, people. Have we learned anything from the Micah Parsons experience? If anything, he's a linebacker and a situational pass rusher. JC said that he only got 5 linebackers, nothing compared to the draft guru. Only on page 1, man. Next kid, boom, Toledo, Darius Alexander out of the MAC, bro. 3-tech, you can slide him out to 5. I would compare him to a bigger, stronger, faster version of Marshawn Nealon, if there's a comp on him. But he's bigger and stronger, more of a run stuffer, 0 bend. That's how I got him. Next, we got Tyler Barron, the U, bro. Long, long has length, can get up the field. You can play edge with him, slide him inside to defensive tackle. You can do what you want with him. Next is Texas, Vernon Broughton. Kind of the same, man. Texas has a load of kids at this draft. You could do what you want with him, slide him inside, outside. There's so many kids in this draft that have 3 and 5 like flexibility. It's crazy. Next is Jordan Birch out of Oregon. Bro, he has tremendous size, 6'5", 300 pounds. I think he's going to go probably in the second round. Like I said, just names, no colleges. Alfred Collins, defensive tackle, Texas. You want a big guy to stop the run? He's one of them. Next, Howard Cross III, Notre Dame. His father played for the New York Giants. The only thing that I think might hurt him is his size. He's like 6 foot, 300 pounds, but he is a beast versus the run. He is a run stuffer, man. And there's nothing to be afraid of that, man. Next is, I'm going to butcher this kid's name, but he plays for Boston College, bro, and he's flying up. Donovan bro, I can't even pronounce his kid's name. Ezekiel. Yo, great size, gets up the field. He has crazy sacks. He showed off at the Shrine and the Senior Bowl. He wasn't in both. He is flying up the board, especially with Mike Green going down the board. Next kid is Joshua Farmer, defensive tackle, Florida State. I'm going to be honest with you. Me personally, I am not as high on him as everyone else is. He started off the season a little bit slower, but he has the prototypical size. And to be honest with you, I think all of Florida State's defensive linemen kind of like had a subpar year. Like I said, he started off the season late. Next kid is Mason Graham. Do we really even have to talk about him? Mason Graham has been Michigan's #1 defensive tackle for the last 3 years. I'm going to say that again. Mason Graham has been Michigan's #1 tackle for the last 3 years. When Maxi Pad was a senior and Mason Graham was a true freshman, go watch the tape. Mason Graham stood out more than Maxi Pad. We got another Michigan defensive tackle. I know he's not getting a lot of love, and I'm going to be honest with you, I am not the biggest fan of him. Kenneth Grant, 6'4", 340 pounds. I'm going to be honest with you, he is more like the typical Michigan defensive tackle that sits back and catches blocks. Is he bigger than Maxi Pad? Yes. Is some team going to take a chance on him? Yes. In my opinion, I don't have a first round grade on him. I don't. In my opinion, I think he's going to go in the second round. I think there's way too many defensive linemen in this draft for someone to take a chance on him in round 1. Just my opinion. Next is Derek Harmon, Oregon. Like I said, bro, just names, bro. And people, bro, I'm telling you, bro, it's okay. I'll go out and buy his ketchup. A lot of guys playing ketchup. Next is Derek Harmon, defensive tackle, Oregon. A Michigan State transfer. Bro, the kid's 6'5", 300 pounds. He can play outside. He can play inside. He's A very, very, very underrated player. Next, we got Ty Hamilton, the Ohio State. Very underrated player. If he's healthy, he should put on a show today and fly up the boards. We got Jared Ivey, edge. No one's talking about this kid. Flying up the boards. Next kid, Cam Jackson out of Florida. He's only like 6'5, 350. And ironically, he wasn't even the biggest defensive tackle on Florida. They had a kid that was like 450 pounds, and he's coming out next year. We got an edge, Savion Jones, LSU. LSU. I know they say scout the helmet, not the player. LSU. Can somebody name me the last good edge out of LSU, along with linebacker? Kyle Kennard, defensive tackle, South Carolina. He's a first rounder. Not getting a lot of love. Sean Martin, defensive tackle, West Virginia. This kid came into the season crazy hype at like they were predicting this. He's like 6'5, 300 pounds. They were predicting him. He was a first round grade, and he just slid down. West Virginia, bro. When was the last time West Virginia put out a good defensive lineman? Gotta go back. Offensive linemen, we know they're good at. Defensive linemen, should we say Ronaldo Turnbull? I'm showing my age there. But this kid came into the season with a first round grade. That's only page one. Next kid, like I said, just names. Ryan Millis, defensive tackle, Notre Dame. Great size. Unfortunately, he tore his knee in the middle of the season, so I don't think he's going to be working out today at the combine. If he was smart, he would just have the doctors look at his knee and then maybe even try to maybe he'll bench press, or maybe he'll work out at Notre Dame's pro day. But Notre Dame has three legit defensive linemen: Ryan Millis, Howard Cross, and RJ Oben. He's a Duke transfer, and ironically, his dad played for the Giants, but he has chicken legs, though. Next kid is Omar Norman Lott, defensive tackle, Tennessee. Just a big-ass space eater in the middle, and he's going to eat up blocks, man. Next kid is going to – I feel bad for this kid when he was in kindergarten because I can't even pronounce his name now. He played for UCLA. Olu Abadagio. How about that one? Say that 3 times fast. He played linebacker a lot at UCLA. Now they look at him more with his hands down, rushing the passer. I predict this kid to run a crazy fast 40-yard dash. Watch him fly up the boards. Jordan Phillips, Maryland. Bro, defensive tackle. In my opinion, he can go from 3 to 1, 1 to 3, back and forth. Antoine Powell Ryland, defensive end, Virginia Tech. He only had 16 sacks. But he's on the smaller side, 6'2", maybe 250-ish, 260. We're going to find out. People grow, people get shorter at the combine. It is what it is. We got Elijah Roberts, SMU. SMU got 3 monster defensive linemen. Elijah Roberts, he played edge at 6'4", 270. I like my edges. He is a beast versus the run. Remember that name, Elijah Roberts, SMU. Next kid, Kamine Rucker, North Carolina, played on a horrendous team. He's more of a pass rusher. I'm not saying he got a lot of help, but he's somebody that could fly up the boards. He's more of a day 3 guy to me. Next kid, TJ Sanders, South Carolina. Just because of traits, he has great size. He has everything that you want in a player. I don't see him getting out of round 2. I don't. Next kid, Jack Sawyer, 6'5", 260, The Ohio State. He has size. He has heart. He has a blue-collar work ethic. He was in the middle of the fight between Michigan and Ohio State with planting of the flag. Watch a Pittsburgh or a Baltimore Ravens take a chance on this kid. He has everything you want. And he's going to go, and he's going to make a lot of money. He could play for me any day of the week, bro. I'm sorry, bro. When I coached, we win together, we lose together, we fight together. I'm okay with that, man. You don't start the fight, but you don't let your teammate get beat up either. So, Jack Sawyer, edge, Ohio State. Next, Nick Scranton, Texas A&M. Bro, no, he ain't getting talked about. Texas A&M has 3 legit D linemen that are going to go simply because their traits are phenomenal. I believe the combine starts 1,500 hours. That's 3 p.m. Next is Tim Smith, defensive tackle, Alabama. He came on late onto the game. He showed up at, the bowl games, and he's just a big-ass dude in the middle that's going to stuff the run and allow your linebackers to run freely to the ball. Think of him as a poor man's Jonathan Allen or a Deron Payne. That is a good thing. Next kid, Baron Sorrell. You could play him inside or outside. His name always sticks out to me. Sorrell. That is the breed of the pit bulls I only fuck with. Anybody that wants, they could look up on YouTube Bert Sorrell. That's the only bloodline I fuck with. Excuse my language. But Baron Sorrell, Texas, bro. A lot of people are sleeping on this kid. Next kid. People are sleeping on this kid because of his height. And don't talk about the helmet. I don't want to hear about the helmet. Josiah Stewart, defensive end, Michigan. I gave you this kid the beginning of the season, man. He's about 6'1" to 6'2". And let me tell you something. He was on the field. He was like the second rotation in 2023 when Michigan was playing Alabama in the national championship playoffs, and they stopped running back, where they stopped the quarterback on that 4th and 1 play at the goal line. So, this kid has size, and I want to see what 40 he runs with. Next kid is, hey, listen, man, I don't want to shit on him, but he is the first kid you want off the bus. Shamar Stewart, Texas A&M. 6'6", 290, 5 sacks, 3 years. He did have 40 plus. This past season, he had 1.5 sacks. Yet he did have close to 40 quarterback pressures. So for the Dallas fans out there, he's perfect for you because think about it. Tank Lawrence used to average 2 sacks a season, but he used to have a lot of hurries. And you justified giving Tank Lawrence a $150 million contract. So Shamar Stewart is perfect for all the Dallas fans. But let me tell you something. He's the type of kid that, that stipend ended, that NIL deal ended, you light a fire under his ass, and you're looking at a double sack kind of player. Let's see what else I got here. Junior Tafuna, Defensive tackle, Utah. He's an island guy. We all know they are completely built different. You can't hurt them. Played for Utah. He's strictly a one tech run stuffer, and there's nothing wrong with that. People have made their livings off of that in the NFL. He's big, he's strong, and he plays low. Low man wins. Remember that, defensive linemen. All right. We also have JT Tuimoloau, Ohio State. Boom. Edge, 6'5", 240. Watch 2022, 2023. Watch what he did to Olu Fashanu, the Jets' #1 draft pick last year at offensive tackle. Bro, he ate his lunch. Bro, it looked like a college kid playing up against a high school kid. He is a freak. Same thing. Island dude. When I say freak, I mean freak in a good way. Bro, I see also, I could see a Pittsburgh going after him. I can see a Ravens going after him because I also think he is also could be a perfect 5 tech, if that makes any sense. Next kid, CJ West, not getting a lot of love, defensive tackle, Indiana. He is a complete run stuffer up the middle. He is going to keep your linebackers fresh and free from flowing to the ball. That's what? 4 pages of notes. Let's go to the 5th. Let's go for some. All right, well, now we're going to work on linebackers, bro. I'm going to be honest with you, it's a subpar linebacker class. Just names. Don't you love it? Let's see the Gooch do this, bro. Like I said, my #1 linebacker is Abdul Carter. He has a stress fracture. They don't know what they're going to do with him, if they're going to operate. They don't know if they're going to let it heal. He could tumble. If he tumbles down, I'll trade up for his ass in a heartbeat. But, like, if you are going to get surgery, like, you're telling me, though, like, let's be honest, man, the combine, they're going to take x-rays and all that shit of everything. You're telling me if I was an agent and I had a prospect, I would get all that shit done before going to Indianapolis. So there's no surprises. What do these kids pay their agents for? That's why we laugh at kids like Lamar Jackson who have their mother handle their contracts, but yet he doesn't have to pay his agent 20, 30%. Because if I'm an agent and his agent is Drew Rosenhaus, why isn't he doing this? But what do I know? So Abdul Carter is my linebacker 1. He is a linebacker and a situational pass rusher. If you think Abdul Carter is an edge, go watch this 2024's first 3 games of Penn State's the season. The first 3 games of the season, they put Abdul Carter at edge, and he got shut down, especially by Wyatt Mullins. But he also was getting chipped by tight ends, chipped by running backs. They put him back to linebacker, and 12 sacks. Think, people. Jihad Campbell, we went over him. Jeffrey Basara, Oregon. Bro, the kid has prototypical height, speed, and length. He made a name for himself at the ball games, but, like, how much really can you when a lot of people are high on him, but listen, man, it is a below average linebacker class. Next is Barrett Carter, linebacker, Clemson. I'm shocked he didn't go out last year. I'm not as high on him as a lot of other people are. Clemson. I'm just Listen, we'll find out how he runs today, how he performs, but it is what it is. Next kid is Jamon Dumas Johnson, linebacker, Kentucky. He's a force versus the run, and he's a name to look out for. Next is Jay Higgins, linebacker, Iowa, tackling machine, straight up tackling machine. Next is Jack Kaiser. Like I said, look, names, just names going off the top of my head. Next is Jack Kaiser, linebacker, Notre Dame. He's an overaged prospect. He spent 6 years at Notre Dame. I'm not on. Listen, if you're okay with getting an overaged linebacker, yo, it is what it is, man. And you're okay with that? Fine. A kid that's flying up the board is Demetrius Knight, linebacker, South Carolina. Next kid is Nick Martin, Oklahoma State, tackling machine. In my opinion, this kid can play linebacker or safety. He had 1,000,000 tackles. That also shows you how horrible of a defense Oklahoma State has. And honestly, man, besides him, Ollie Gordon, their team was horrendous, man. Next is Francisco, right? You like that, Francisco. Moraga, linebacker, the U. Bro, the kid is a tackling machine. He's an island guy. I've been watching him for the last 2 years. Ironically, his brother plays right tackle for Miami. And 2026, like I said, everybody, you want to mess around with your dudes, ask them who their 2026 guys are. They're gonna, I don't even know this year's people. Ask them who their 2026 guys are. Because Francis Moraga, Miami, his brother plays right tackle for Miami. He's like 360 with like 6%, 5% body fat. He's my number one tackle for 2026. Next kid is Tareem Powell, 6'5, 250, edge out of Rutgers. He's had some injury concerns over the last couple of years, but yo, at that size, his size and speed, you can't teach. You can't. And if he would have played his college career with never getting an injury, he would have been so much fun, so much higher. Same thing like next year's guy. Oh, Mohamed Toure, linebacker. Remember that name, 2026. Cody Simon, Ohio State. He can play all three positions, man. He could play. Danny Stuntsman, Oklahoma, 6'4", 250 for the guys who like big linebackers. He started off the season crazy high. He's kind of slid down. Someone's going to take a chance on this kid. I don't see this kid getting out of the third round, to be honest with you. As horrible of the, not as horrible as, how can I say this, below average linebacker class this is, Danny Stuntsman, Oklahoma is a name to watch. And like I said, my last kid, he's a linebacker to me. Jalen Walker out of Georgia. He's a linebacker. He's not an edge. I'm sorry. So for all the people that want to put Abdul Carter and Jalen Walker at edge, have we learned anything from the Micah Parsons experience? What's going to happen? They're going to wear down. What's going to happen when they're going up against 6'7", 350-pound men every single down? Now they got a tight end chipping them. Now they got running backs chipping them. Don't take my word for it. Go to 2024 tape, watch Penn State's first 3 games of the season, and watch Abdul Carter play edge. He got shut down. Number one, he got shut down by my number one offensive tackle, Wyatt Mullins, out of West Virginia. And I'll stamp that now. Yeah, even though they had him playing guard, the Senior Bowl, this just shows you that You can scout somebody, do all your homework on somebody, and they can go to an organization and the organization will ruin them. And yo, I say, once somebody goes to an organization, yo, that's out of my hands, bro. There's pictures out there, there's videos out there of Sam Darnold, the quarterback that just had the great year with the Vikings. There's videos out there of teams that had Sam Darnold playing defensive tackle in practice. These are coaches that make millions of dollars, people. Think about that shit, bro. So when people want to put Abdul Carter and Jalen Walker in their edge class, think of Micah Parsons the second half of every season he's been in. He disappears. What happens to Micah at the end of the year? He's hunched over, breathing bad. He can't even breathe. Jalen Walker and Abdul Carter are linebackers. The combine starts at 3 p.m. Oh, in 10 minutes. How ironic. Thank God I got my I don't know, I threw about 50, 60 names at you, man. I'll also be coming at you later on with a combine wrap-up show, also with guys that stood out to me, guys who went up, guys who went down. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I look at combine strictly for medicals, bro. To me, it's tape, 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 Senior Bowl. I mean, like those practices, bro. Perfect example, bro. They want to make a big deal over Mike Green versus this kid Cornelius, an offensive tackle for Oregon. Cornelius was playing a game 2 weeks before Senior Bowl, yet Mike Green has had the last 2 months to prepare for the Senior Bowl. Who do you think is fresher? Who do you think is like stronger? And a lot of those drills favor one position or the other. My opinion, combine is nothing but tape and the first 10 yards of the 40-yard line. I could think about it, man. Do you really give a fuck, excuse my language, what 40-yard time your defensive tackles run? Come on, bro. You care 40 yards for your corners, your running backs, wide receivers. I can care less other positions what a 40 runs. I don't care what your 10-yard is, that I do. We all know when you're rocking with the GWO for life, let's see everyone else spit out all the information I just did off the top of their head. Nobody's going to work harder than me. Nobody's going to watch more football than me. Nobody's going to give you the honest. I have no, what's the word I'm looking for, man? I have no agenda, man, for life. Enjoy the combine. We'll be on later.